I remember now. I found the entrance while lost within a dream. Or maybe it found me. A crack in the daylight, a grin in the dark, a rabbit hole breathing like it knew my name. The signs all said Wonderland, but the paint was peeling and the arrows pointed straight down. I went looking for Alice, just like everyone does. We chased the idea of innocence like it didn't already die, screaming inside the pages of some old storybook. The trees leaned in close, branches whispering riddles with no answers, clocks melting just to remind me time only bends for the cruel. I asked the rabbit if he had seen her. He only laughed back at me, pointing further down the path. Try not to get lost, because down here there are no maps. I asked the sky to shine its light, just for it to turn black and rain. It's silent apology. Every path split three ways, and every way led to regret. The Mad Hatter was sober, and that's how I knew I was lost. His eyes were empty, yet still warm with lies. The queen never shouted off with his head. She didn't need to. Her silence did the cutting. Mirrors line the halls, but none of them showed me Alice. They only showed me what I became by believing she was real. This wonderland doesn't corrupt you, it reveals you. It peels the fairy tale off your skin and feeds it to the dark. Still I kept searching, hands bleeding from thorns shaped like memories, calling her name until it echoed back in a voice that wasn't mine. And then I understood. Alice isn't missing. She never was. She's the lie we tell ourselves to survive the fall. Because in this wonderland, there are no lost girls, no happy endings, no way back up! People wearing a badge and saying wonderful at me. Standing at the center of it, realizing I didn't find forgot how to wake up from. Gravity lied to me first, said down was safe, said Wonderland was just a word people use when they're afraid to face their reality. The clock was bleeding numbers, time limped instead of ticking, every smile cavity teeth, and every road asked for a piece of me before it showed me the way. They told me, if you're looking for Alice, follow the laughter. So I followed the laughter until it started sounding like screaming. Teacups overflowed with memory. Madness wore manners. The Hatter stared at me like he knew exactly how I would die, but didn't want to spoil the surprise. Everyone loses their head eventually, he said, stirring nothing into something and calling it truth. The Cheshire Cat grinned in fragments, appearing only long enough to mock my hope. Some paths only exist to make sure you're lost, he purred, then vanished mid-sentence, just like Alice did. I found the queen in a garden where roses learned fear by watching. Her crown was crooked, her voice a guillotine. She ruled with a shout and called it justice. And when there she was, Alice, or what remained of her, her body knelt politely, hands folded like she was still listening. Her head rested in the dirt, eyes open, mouth frozen mid-question. Her curiosity had finally cost her everything. No blood theatrics, no dramatic scream, just silence so loud it rang like a verdict. I picked up her head, and it felt lighter than it should have, like belief always does. After it's broken, her eyes looked past me as if she'd already escaped. Somewhere I was too late to follow the wind and land didn't flinch. It never does, because this place doesn't kill you. It changes you until you don't recognize the parts of you that are missing. I left her there because even miracles know when not to interfere. I crawl back through the dream with dirt on my hands and madness in my lungs. Now when people ask me if Wonderland is real, I tell them, yes it is, and it's beautiful, and it will take your head if you stay curious for too long.
They called it Wonderland because nightmare didn't sound poetic enough. Because if you dress the grave in roses, people forget there's a body underneath.
The forest was stitched together from dead prayers, trees bent like spines under guilt, roots tangled around bones that used to dream.
Lanterns flickered like dying eyes, guiding me nowhere on purpose.
Every step echoed with laughter that didn't belong to anyone living. The air tasted like rust and sugar, sweet enough to swallow, sharp enough to cut the truth.
Time didn't pass there. It bled.
Dripping from broken clocks nailed to the walls, each second screaming the same moment over and over, until memory lost its teeth. I drank from cups filled with forgetting, choked on promises steeped in poison, and called it ritual instead of addiction. Wonderland doesn't kidnap you, it seduces you into digging your own grave and hands you the shovel with a smile.
And Alice was never a girl. She was a silhouette carved into fog, a voice sown from lullabies and screams, a halo cracked down the middle, always just far enough away to keep me crawling. I followed her through corridors of skin and mirrors, where reflections blinked too late, and my face kept rotting differently each time. Kings rotted on thrones made of filth, queens bathed in blood and called it order, and I bowed. Because fear looks like respect when you're tired enough. Every door led back to the same room. Every escape hatch sealed itself behind me. Every time I woke up, I was already there. New wounds, all terror, pretending I hadn't been here forever. That's when I understood.
Wonderland wasn't a place it doesn't weigh in. A ritual of self-destruction drenched in fairy tales. A coffin lined with nostalgia that I kept crawling into because it knew my name.
Because monsters are comforting when you know exactly how they'll hurt you.
So I stopped chasing, let the laughter run in my ears, let the forest choke on my silence. Mirrors cracked when I refused to look at grass. Red bolts!
Because nightmares don't survive being seen clearly. Now I stand at the threshold, keys dripping with old blood, knowing the gate will never close behind me. It will always be there. Breathing, waiting, hungry. But I'm done kneeling in the dark, done mistaking pain for destiny, done waiting for Alice to save me from the hell I kept choosing.
Wonderland can